Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive.
Excited to be here.
Today we are diving headfirst into the world of trading psychology
Oh boy.
with Tom Hougaard's Best Loser Wins.
Okay.
Now, before you click away thinking, trading, not for me,
Yeah.
trust me on this one. We're after the unconventional wisdom Hougaard's gleaned from years in the high-stakes trading game. Insights that might just change how you approach your own goals,
Right.
no matter how far from Wall Street you roam.
I like it.
So, what's the big secret?
Yeah. What is it?
Well, Hougaard kicks things off by comparing the market,
Right.
to get this,
Right.
a whirlwind romance.
Right.
All the highs, the lows,
Mhm.
those moments you want to throw your hands up and swear off the whole thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, he's been there.
I believe him.
But here's where it gets really interesting. He claims the key to his success isn't some magic formula or superhuman intuition.
Okay.
It's about becoming, and I quote, an outstanding loser.
That's certainly an attention-grabbing statement, isn't it?
Right.
Makes you wonder if he's lost his mind or if there's like a hidden genius in those words.
So let's ditch the normal way of thinking about winning and losing for a bit. What does it really mean to lose well? And could that actually be the secret sauce we've all been missing?
Okay, so Hougaard's not glorifying failure here. It's more about rewiring how we think about it.
Mm-hmm.
See, if he starts with this idea of normal thinking, craving comfort, dodging discomfort, sticking to what we know, pretty universal, right?
Totally. We're hardwired to avoid pain, whether it's emotional or financial.
Exactly. But he drops this truth bomb. 90% of traders lose money. So if you're playing it safe, following the herd, you're statistically more likely to be on the losing side. Normal thinking, at least in the trading world, might actually be setting you up for failure.
So it's not just about being right or wrong. It's about understanding the game is rigged against normal.
Mhm.
That's kind of wild.
It is. And here's where it gets even more interesting. Hougaard argues that these days, with all the fancy trading tools and information at our fingertips,
Right.
Bollinger Bands, which track price fluctuations,
Right. Like we've got more knowledge and tech than ever before.
Keltner channels, another way of looking at price movements,
Yeah.
anyone should be able to make a killing. Precisely. But we don't.
Right.
Most people still fail.
Yeah.
And that, he argues, is because it's not about the tools, it's about the mindset. Our own psychology is the biggest roadblock. We're basically our own worst enemies.
Okay, so how do we escape that trap? Because let's face it, even if we're not day traders, we've all got those areas where fear or doubt holds us back.
Absolutely. And that's where Hougaard's counterintuitive strategies come in.
Okay.
He's got a whole arsenal of them. But let's unpack a few of the most powerful ones, starting with what he calls embracing disgust.
Okay, embracing disgust. This I gotta hear.
Right. It's about harnessing those negative emotions, the frustration, the disappointment, and turning them into fuel for our goals. Instead of shying away from what we don't want, we use it as motivation to move towards what we do. He actually uses a pretty intense example in the book.
Yeah, tell me about that. The whole anorexia analogy, it definitely stopped me in my tracks.
Right. So disclaimer, he's obviously not advocating for unhealthy behaviors. Right. But he uses the example of his ex-girlfriend's struggle with anorexia to illustrate the sheer power of a weight-oriented goal setting.
Wow.
Her drive to move away from a negative self-image while misdirected was incredibly strong.
So it's about tapping into that same intensity, but channeling it in a healthy and productive way.
Exactly. Think about it. Have you ever been more motivated to change something than when you were absolutely fed up with the status quo?
Yeah.
That's the energy Hougaard's talking about.
Okay, so we've got this idea of embracing disgust as fuel.
Right.
What else does Hougaard recommend for rewiring our trading psychology?
Well, he also tackles this thing he calls the drifter mind.
Okay.
A tendency we all have to stray from our goals,
Yeah.
get distracted, fall back into bad habits.
So tell me about it. I think we've all been there.
Right. 1 minute you're laser focused. The next you're down an internet rabbit hole wondering how you got there.
Totally.
Hougaard compares it to physical fitness.
Okay.
Just like our bodies need regular workouts to stay in shape, our minds need them too.
Mental workouts, I like that.
Right.
So how do we actually exercise our mental discipline?
Hougaard swears by meticulously reviewing his trades.
Okay.
And not just the wins.
Okay.
He dives deep into his mistakes, looking for patterns, analyzing his decisions,
Interesting.
basically turning his losses into valuable lessons.
So it's like that saying, learn from your mistakes, but he's taking it to a whole other level, but really dissecting those moments where things went wrong.
Precisely. And he even takes it a step further with this technique he calls the Book of Truths.
The Book of Truths. Okay, now I'm really intrigued.
So imagine this. Hougaard plots his trades on charts, but
Oh,
not just any old charts.
okay.
He's meticulously recording his wins and losses,
Great.
creating this visual representation of his trading history.
Okay.
He's basically holding himself accountable,
All right.
forcing himself to confront those moments where his emotions might have gotten the better of him.
Wow, that's commitment. But it makes sense. If you're not tracking your progress, how can you expect to improve? It's like trying to lose weight without ever stepping on a scale.
Exactly.
Hmm.
And the best part, Hougaard says this Book of Truths concept isn't just for traders. We
Ah,
can apply it to any area of our lives. Want to write a book? Track your word count,
right.
celebrate the good days, and analyze why you might have fallen short on others.
Sure.
Trying to eat healthier. Keep a food journal. The key is to be honest with ourselves.
Yeah.
See the patterns and use that knowledge to make better decisions moving forward.
That's incredibly powerful. It's like shining a light on those blind spots we all have. So we've covered a lot of ground here, embracing disgust, tackling the drifter mind, and now this idea of creating a book of truths. It seems like Hougaard's overall philosophy boils down to getting comfortable with discomfort.
Yes.
Would you say that's accurate?
Absolutely. He argues that true growth happens outside our comfort zones.
Right.
In fact, he embraces discomfort as a sign that he's pushing his limits, that he's on the right track.
Which makes a lot of sense when you think about it. It's easy to get complacent when things are going well.
Right.
But those challenges, those moments of disgust even, are often the catalysts for the most significant breakthroughs.
Couldn't have said it better myself. He's basically challenging the conventional definition of success.
Right.
It's not about avoiding failure. It's about learning to lose well, to extract valuable lessons from those losses, and come back stronger each time.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into Best Loser Wins, I have to ask, what's the one big takeaway you hope our listeners walk away with today?
You know, it's funny. Hougaard's book might be about trading, but his insights are applicable to so much more than that. For me, the biggest takeaway is this. Instead of fearing failure, what if we embraced it as a stepping stone, a necessary part of the journey? What if, by getting really good at losing, we could unlock a whole new level of success in all areas of our lives? That's something I'll be pondering for a while.
It's certainly a powerful thought to leave us with. So to everyone listening, we'd love to hear your thoughts. How can you apply these principles of losing well to your own life, your own goals, your own unique path? Until next time, happy learning, and remember, sometimes the best loser really does win.